So we continue with next chapter, very short. And the topic is sifting. So we were discussed parts of it in the previous chapters, but now it's about sifting only. One of the Melachos forbidden on Shabbos is that of merakade, sifting, right? This refers primarily to sifting flour in order to remove impurities that are in it. Sifting involves putting the flour through the sieve, and that of the larger impurities are left behind on the top of the sieve. The Melachos of sifting is not restricted to flour, but applies to in all types of the fine matter, whether edible or inedible. Okay, so sifting meaning what? That you separate good from bad, right? So, but using some kind of implement, meaning that good goes through and bad stays on top, right? So we will see. So of course, flour is like a classic example, but there are other examples. Okay. Next section, sifting on Yom Tov. On Yom Tov, the Melachos of sifting is sometimes forbidden and sometimes permitted. This depends on whether the item being sifted is one that is usually sifted in a large quantity for extended use. Okay. So the flour is, as we said, it's the best example. So meaning here, sometimes it's allowed, sometimes it is not allowed, based on the item. So when it says a large quantity, small quantity, meaning based on the item. Items that are customarily sifted in large quantities may not be sifted on Yom Tov, whereas item customarily sifted in small amounts for that day use may be sifted on Yom Tov. Okay, so we will need to see the example. Thus, for example, it is forbidden to sift flour on Yom Tov because flour is usually sifted in a large quantity and stored. Okay, that's clear. It is permitted, however, to filter ground coffee, since this is commonly done on a daily basis. Okay, so on Shabbos it would not be permitted. Ground coffee. I guess. I mean, it depends on the like coffee maker would be forbidden in general. To make no, but it would be because of the cooking. Here because of the filter. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so on Yom Tov at least, right? This sifting flour is forbidden. But you see, sifting flour, my wife does the cooking, so I see she never does in order to store. Because why? Because sometimes, and we had it few times already. I don't know how many times we had it, but for sure a few times. When there was some bugs in the flour, right? I think that they say they develop in the flour or whatever. So it's not like that from the it's not only from the factory, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how they develop, but we had to throw a few times, and it's not completely, right? So we were using for sometimes maybe 1/3 we used. And then she said there are live bugs, so we had to throw out. You understand? So to do it more than for one time baking, so and without checking again, it's very dangerous. Maybe if you started baking a second time, a few weeks later, maybe there are bugs. You develop bugs. You never know, right? So, but we go according to the books, not according, but what I'm trying to say, practically, we never do for storage. So whatever we need for one time, we just do for one time. It is permitted, however, to filter ground coffee, since this is commonly done on a daily basis. Okay. Continue. Sifting flour. Since the flour used today comes highly refined and does not need sifting for common impurities, it is permitted to sift the flour to remove any insects from it. Okay, here we go. Insects, right? So sometimes it's dead insects, but it's scary, right? Okay, so it's very interesting. So he said that since it was sifted before, very fine. So in olden days they were, I guess, sifting to remove this chaff or something. Right? Today there is no chaff. Continue. However, one must comply with general rule that whether it is possible to do melacha before the Yom Tov with equal results, one must indeed do it then. So as we said before many times, it's proper to cook everything before Yom Tov. Okay. Failing this, one may do the melacha on Yom Tov only in unusual manner. Sifting in unusual manner, I'm not sure how. I mean, okay. Like, as we said, upside down. This is one, thus, if one could have resifted the flour before Yom Tov, but did not do so, may resift it on Yom Tov only in a usual manner. For example, he should turn over the sifter, right? Turn over, and pour the flour, and through the undersides of the sifter, rather from its top. So I mean, it's very, very inconvenient. Or he should let the flour fall into the table. I think this is more practical. Like in my mind, this is more practical. Fall into the table or countertop rather than into the bowl. I mean, I like this approach better with other grinding as well. Meaning, when I say I like, meaning it's like more safer, I guess, and less messy. Flour that has already been sifted may also be sifted again in order to make it fluffier. So that's a second reason, of course, but first to remove impurity, but second to make it fluffier. This too is permitted on Yom Tov only if the sifting is done in an unusual manner. Okay, so we finished with that. But in my mind, like when do you have time? Like for example, the schedule on Yom Tov in my shul, so we start at 9. So for me to start at 9, I have to get up at 7 minimum, right, to prepare everything. So right, no, 8:45 they start, right? Not 9. Then you come home, then you eat this and that, so you finish like, I don't know, like 12 or 1 after 1, let's say 1:30. So then the next mincha is going to be 6 p.m. Like when exactly you have all of this time for cooking, and right? And it says you're only allowed to cook for this day unless she gets up at 3 in the morning and start cooking. Yeah, I would understand. But otherwise, it does not make sense, all of these things, when exactly they have time, right? Okay, any questions, or we continue?
Hello?
Yes, question.
There's a question on board. It says, if one grind or sift food that could have been done before Yom Tov, but forgot to do it in a Shinui, is he permitted still eat the food?
Yes, yeah, after the fact, yes. So, because it's all rabbinical, and it's like a part of the punishment. In some cases, we're going to see the punishment. Is there on Yom Tov such a punishment? On Yom Tov, it's punishment when a person was preparing. For example, just I see where the person was going with that. For example, person did something forbidden on Yom Tov, and it was like for preparation for a weekday. They cooked something, so they're not allowed to eat it like right after the Yom Tov ends or Shabbos ends. The time that it takes to cook this food from the beginning. Right? So somebody brought you a cake that they cook on Shabbos, for example. So you're not allowed to derive any benefit from this cake that until the time after Shabbos pass that it takes to cook this, to bake this cake. And some cakes you have to. I'm not an expert, but from what my wife is saying, you have to like put it in a refrigerator. This dough for this hours, that hours. Some dough, some bread that she makes, it takes. So I have to say that have to place an order. If I want to eat specific bread, I have to say 1 day in advance minimum, because it takes 18 hours to make this bread. So you understand? So not everything just mix, take some flour, mix water, and that's it. No, it's not true. So and same as cakes. They put a dough in the refrigerator. It has to stay 1 hour, 2 hours, cool down. That you take back, and it has to stay on countertop. It's all big deal, right? So that's why there is some kind of punishment. But in this case, there is no punishment. It's not proper, but it's not proper. Okay. Any other questions?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Would powdered sugar be considered something that is used in large quantities and therefore not permitted to be sifted on Yom Tov, or?
I don't think so. Usually people, but why would you need to sift this powdered sugar? Just asking. I just don't know.
Yes, to put on top, to spread some of it on top of the cakes, some cakes.
Oh, but you sift in and you do the same act, right? The way I understand, no? Or
Yeah. We just kind of pat the thing,
on the cake itself, or you would do it in a bowl, for example, and take from bowl and then sprinkle on the cake.
No, we sprinkle on top of the cake.
Okay, so that's not a problem. So it's for sure it's not. That's how I understood. Yeah, this for sure there is no problem whatsoever with that, because it's not done in order to store. You do exactly on the cake. So whatever you need, you finish, and you pour back into your container. That's it. So that's very good example. Okay. I did not know. I mean, I realized that they have to sprinkle somehow to make it even, to use some implement. It's very good, but I never knew how to do that. Okay.